What would go through your mind if you opened TikTok and saw the woman you were about to marry dancing inside a Paris nightclub with her ex just 21 days before your wedding? The video started playing, and in that instant, everything I believed in split apart. On the screen was Emily, my fiancée, my future wife, moving under flashing lights in a packed Paris club. Jason, her former boyfriend, had his arms locked around her waist as if they'd never let go. She held a glass of champagne, laughing with a joy I hadn't seen in months. And for 3 days, she had completely vanished. 3 days of unanswered calls. 3 days of fear. I'd contacted hospitals, police stations, her sister, her friends, running worst-case scenarios through my head, non-stop. I thought something terrible had happened to her. I was wrong. The truth was worse. She wasn't hurt. She wasn't missing. She was celebrating without me. The mug in my hand slipped, crashing against the kitchen floor and shattering. I didn't even react. Let me go back for a moment. My name's Ryan, and only 3 months earlier, I had been building a future, not preparing to erase one. After 4 years together, I proposed to Emily with the exact vintage rose gold diamond ring she'd casually mentioned more times than I could count. When I asked, she broke down in tears and told me it was the happiest moment of her life. Now she was in Paris, pressed against her ex like our engagement meant nothing. I replayed the video again and again. The small birthmark on her shoulder. The open-back dress I'd never seen before. The engagement ring, my ring, linting under the club lights. There was no room for denial. No misunderstanding. It was undeniably her. When her sister Sarah stepped into the room and saw my expression, she stopped cold. I just saw Megan's post. She said quietly, "Ryan, I'm so sorry. No one knew Emily went anywhere. Not her parents. Not her friends. Not even the people covering half the wedding costs." Scrolling through the comments only made it worse. Living her best life. Emily and Jason back together. Round 2. Spring break energy. Anger and shame knotted in my chest. Then something else settled in clarity. This wasn't about stress relief. This wasn't a spontaneous girls' trip. This wasn't about fun. This was about respect, or the complete absence of it. I stopped calling her. I stopped spiraling. Instead, I picked up my phone with purpose. That night, my plan took shape. I locked down my bank accounts, separated our shared funds, and blocked large withdrawals. Then I contacted my friend Mark, a family law attorney. He walked me through everything: the lease, joint accounts, vendor contracts, the engagement ring, and my legal standing. With every explanation, my resolve strengthened. By morning, my choice was final. I called our wedding planner, Valerie. "I'm canceling the wedding." She nearly lost her breath. "Ryan, are you absolutely sure?" "Completely," I replied. "What can be recovered financially?" "Not much." But her answer sparked an idea. We transformed the reception into a charity fundraiser for a children's hospital. The money already paid became a donation. The guest list stayed intact, but instead of celebrating a marriage, they gathered to support a cause. What was meant to be a symbol of our love turned into something meaningful in a different way. Emily's parents were heartbroken and furious. Her father pleaded with me to reconsider. Her mother cried uncontrollably. I didn't waver. That night, Emily finally called. Loud music thumped through the speaker, her words slurred. "Ryan, don't overreact." She laughed. "I earned this. It's my last chance to enjoy myself before becoming a wife." Those words cut deep. You don't talk about a last chance unless you already see commitment as a prison. When she refused to come home early, I said the words that ended everything: "Then don't come back at all." She laughed, thinking I wasn't serious, and hung up. But I was already moving forward. I found a new apartment. I hired movers. I packed my belongings and hers separately. I redirected my mail and changed every password she had ever known. She sent one message: "I'll be back Sunday. We need to talk." I didn't respond. When she finally returned, tan and smiling, suitcase rolling behind her, she expected an argument. Instead, she found boxers, her life neatly packed and waiting. "The wedding is cancelled," I said evenly. "Your things are ready. You'll need to find another place to stay." The color drained from her face. "You did all of this without me." I looked at her calmly. "The same way you went to Paris with your ex without me." She broke down crying, yelling, blaming stress, blaming the wedding, blaming me. Eventually, the truth surfaced. She craved attention, excitement, an escape, but not accountability. I didn't budge. She left that night. The fallout was brutal. Families were divided. Friendships fractured. Everything we'd built collapsed. Emily begged, apologized, sent letters, gifts, even mutual friends too, plead for her. I stayed firm. Eventually, Megan, the friend who planned the trip, admitted the truth. She'd pushed Emily toward the mistake because she wanted Jason for herself. She wanted chaos. Emily allowed it. Time passed. I worked on my self-therapy workouts, new interests, new routines, new people. Slowly, I healed. Then I met Claire. She was calm, genuine, grounded. The opposite of the emotional storm I'd lived in before. With her, I finally understood what peace in a relationship felt like. Nearly a year later, at Sarah's wedding, I saw Emily again. We talked. This time, her apology was real. She admitted she hadn't been ready, confessed her fears and immaturity, and said she hoped I'd found happiness. I realized then I wasn't angry anymore. I'd moved on long ago. You made the right choice, she said quietly before walking away. She was right. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that protect you. Sometimes losing someone creates space for the life you were always meant to build. That night, watching Claire laugh across the room, I felt something solid and unshakable: relief, gratitude, and closure. Emily was only a chapter, not the entire story. The life I live now, honest, peaceful, and realize the future I deserve. And strangely enough, I'm thankful to Emily for showing me exactly what love should never feel like. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, remember you're not alone. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more.